researched and you get the information necessary to save a city of 1 million people.
You're gonna do that?
What I am now going to do is show you
You're really gonna do that as your first?
what I want you to do
Why?
this week as far as the topic you've chosen. So please pay attention.
Topics?
Yeah.
We're in the process
Hey.
of it.
We go to a website called SIRS, which is sks.sirs.com. It is also available through my website. When you go to the Potter website, it's one of the buttons. Okay. Here we are on a website called SIRS, which costs the school money. The school pays to have this website available. It's free to you. Thanks, taxpayers of Somerset. The reason it's something that I want is because it's a really good website. I have college students, former students that went here, continuing to email me once in a while saying they still use this website for their courses that they take in college because it's basically a website that presents both perspectives on various questions, including all of your topics. All of these I got straight from this website. I do not want you to struggle to find information. I hate that. I hated it when I was a student and the teacher assigned something and it was nearly impossible to find anything. I do not want you to have that struggle. So here it is. When you know what your topic is, the computers are right back there. Go to the SIRS website, sks.sirs.com, click on View All Issues, and then find your topic. It's by alphabet. In parentheses after the question, it says what you should be looking up. So, for example, the first one, the upper left, it says, should U.S.-led coalition forces withdraw from Afghanistan now? In parentheses, it says Afghanistan. If I looked under A, there it is, Afghanistan. In parentheses, it says what to look up for in SIRS. When I click on that, this might happen once in a while. Sometimes it's slow.
Do we have to log in or anything?
Right, good question. So as long as you're on campus, there's no login necessary. At home, you do have to log in. It will ask you what's your username and what's your password. Ready? I'm giving you your username and password now. Those of you who've used it before, you know what it is. Ready? Your username is SHSLMC. That's Somerset High School Library Media Center. SHSLMC. Password is 123456. Crack that, Russia. What do you think? Okay, here it is. Here's the question. There it is. Okay. A little paragraph summary, just sort of teasing you about what the topic is about, but basically it's about that question. And then if I drag down, here's the part that we're going to be spending about 4 weeks on.
4 weeks.
Yep. A week per article. You are responsible to read 4 articles, 1 per week. Okay. There are 6 available. You only have to read 4. Your job this week is to read the top left article under viewpoint 1. So if you pick this one, it's an article called Time to Get Out of Afghanistan. And just as a clue, column 1 will always be yes to the question. The question is, should U.S.-led coalition forces withdraw from Afghanistan now? Column 1 will be yes. What did you sign up for? Or what do you intend on signing up for? Look at your question. When you find it in SIRS, column 1 will be yes to that question. Column 2 will be no. So these articles are arguing the U.S. needs to get out of Afghanistan now. Column 2 will be no, we shouldn't get out of Afghanistan now. Pick the upper left article, and your job is to read it. Read the thing. Read the article. Usually it's maybe a page or two long. It is not overwhelming. Be able to tell me, if I were to ask you, be able to tell me, what's your question? Well, your question is what you're signing up for. The question. Okay? What's the name of the article? What's the name of this article?
Time to get out of Afghanistan.
Time to get out of Afghanistan. What'd you call it?
I was gonna say Afghanistan. Okay.
Who's the author of the article? Robert Kaplan. Who's Robert Kaplan?
The author of this article. New York. Writer for the New York
Bam!
Times. Yeah.
He's a writer for the New York Times. That's who he is.
Dang, that's prestigious.
What is the position of the article? Get out. That's right. And then, two other things. These are questions that you want to be ready for by Friday. Every time, this will be due on Friday, although we don't have, we do have class Friday. Okay. Friday, it's always due Friday. So this Friday, you are responsible to be able to answer those questions that I just asked, plus two more. Give me one reason why. Right? Why should we get out of Afghanistan? That's where you're going to have to read the thing. Maybe it's because number of American casualties. Maybe it's because we're doing more harm than good. Right? So try and figure out a reason why the article is making the argument. And then can you find a good quote? Questions? So as soon as you sign up for one of these, there's the computer. Start, right? There's like 10 of you that have already signed up. You're good. There's the computer. Go. Find SIRS. Become familiar with it. Find your first article. Read the thing. Oh, I'll have a handout for you. Just for today, just read the thing. And I'm happy. Okay? This table's next, right?
Yeah. I do number the debate choices number one.
Do you know their viewpoints?
Yes, it is an issue.
Mr. Potter?
Ethanol continues to be a divisive issue because farmers grow corn because they get better prices.
But now it's just a leftover policy. We're not dependent on foreign countries.
Doesn't matter. It's still an issue.
Is that recording?
Yes.
Can I sign up?
It's right here.
Mr. Potter. How's it going, Mr. Potter's class? Do you know their viewpoints on the people who signed up?
No. So who's all signed up?
No?
Is there no limit?
Two per topic.
But wait, if it's a debate.
It's not a debate.
Can I do is war ever morally justified?
Oh, it's a paper?
Number 8, right there.
Have other people signed up for it?
I don't know. I wasn't here.
There it is.
Thank you.
I signed up for 5. It's underneath. I signed up for it.
Ooh.
I have that. No.
I'm ready to play. You can do it.
I'm not arguing.
Why? Because you'll lose?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
We can do it with a partner.
So
I'm going to say that, yes, sometimes
it's not that you and a partner are doing this together. It's just that the two of you are addressing the same topic. You're not doing it together. Although you're free to, if you want to kind of both read the same article and kind of bounce ideas off of each other, I'm fine with that.
Sam,
Why'd you say
you
wait?
should debate me just for fun.
I'm not doing that.
Do it for fun.
Okay.
So they.
Two people could be yes. It's not a debate. You're writing a paper. We'll talk about it in class, but it's not a formalized, graded thing where you and the other person are debating. No. Who's ready?
What? I'm gonna do 14.
I think that was
It doesn't have to be PCBU, it's not PCBU.
No, I just picked one of
Next table.
I can't do it.
I didn't even read what the thing said, you just.
I'm just waiting for the class.
Easier said than done.
Will.
Yeah.
What's going on that pen? Chad. So, your Dell put that picture of you? Mara freaked out?
So I was trying to say.
Yeah.
It's free soda.
Violet went and looked it up.
Yeah, exactly. It's just too stupid to understand.
Who saved Violet's chip? You save it?
No, you can't. She
Saved by Violet and
Look at the I said, like, right? He's joking, right?
yeah. You were joking. Yes, it was right, Violet. Yeah. You can tell the tone you're using when you say that. I don't think Mara would care.
I know, but you fucking never know that.
Yeah, you're right. Look at that picture. What time was that taken?
Read this.
That was in the morning. It took me
Read
a while. Just sent me that picture.
That's a morning shot?
Yeah.
What I've asked you to do is read the article and be able to tell me things like, what's the title, who wrote it, what's the credibility, what's the position of the writer, can you figure out a reason? Like, why? Why should the U.S. get out of Afghanistan? What's a reason that the writer is presenting?
Sam, you can have the war one. I have a different idea.
Swimming pool.
I mean, the question I'd have for you is that available on sales? And if not, are you worried about it?
Sam wants to do it. Give it to Sam.
I'm just reading how much this is cooked here.
No, I actually am covering something. Where'd my sign up sheet go? We are doing something in class, so don't.
And we already got a one at state, so who cares anymore?
Yeah.
You know, I bet they're gonna be practicing pomp and circumstance today. Bet you anything.
What's that? Big chunks.
Fat one, that's for sure.
Hey, I haven't made my choice yet.
Cocky lambe.
I mean, you're right. No one but Mara would care enough. But
Exactly.
I hope it doesn't come back.
I'm just thinking about you.
Like not even your fault.
And what could happen?
Well, I took the picture in the first place,
But
so there's that.
it's therefore for exposing that to more.
Yeah, Dell put it in there.
So it's,
What's the password? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Then
9.
find your topic.
no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Do all issues. Then find your topic. The word
Log in.
and then find
Well,
the question.
Crack
And then-
that, Russia.
Is this for number 1?
Wait, is the cap off in that picture?
What?
So is the cap off in that picture?
Yeah. Sam, I wouldn't worry about it too much. But I'm just thinking that
I'm not.
if
Well, I'm just thinking, worst come to worst.
say that you did it for the joke.
Did for the joke, looked like a dad and dumped it.
Okay, we are shifting gears to something else. We're going to start it today. We'll continue it in future classes. Your table is responsible for the scenario that is being presented up here. That's number 1. Here's number 2. There's number 3. There's number 4. There's number 5. There's number 6, 7, 8, 9. Whoops, it only was a 7. 1, 2,
We got a
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. Okay? Your job as a table
well, I'm glad we don't have 6.
is to read your scenario and then decide as a group, both sides, why would this be considered an act of terrorism? Why would it not be considered an act of terrorism? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're 6, you're 7, you're 1, you're 2. So your group has to, as a group, come up with a definition. Terrorism is, and then fill in the blank. And then decide, based on your definition, is this terrorism? Yes, it is. And here's why, blah, 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 blah. No, it isn't, and here's why not. So within your table, you could subdivide. Okay, you two, you explain why it is. You two, you explain why it might not be. Okay, or the group can just attack both sides of the issue. Ultimately, though, your table has to say, we believe it isn't or is. Okay? You've got, I'll give you about 10 minutes. So when the big hand is on the 4, we're moving on. So you got 2 things going on right now. One is the topic that you signed up for, reading the article. The second is, as a table, come up with a definition of terrorism, look at your scenario, and decide, is it or is it not? If so, why is it so? If not, why not? Go. Did you...
I can't think of a definition, but I'd say ours leans more towards yeah.
Yeah, because
It's not only are you
not signed up for a topic.
it's affecting the civilians.
Terror.
If, by the way, if your table is looking at this and you're confused, call me over. I'll explain it.
Usually, after being revoked.
Affecting innocent.
yeah, because yeah, sure, you terrorists in country Y can't grow anything, so they'll die, yay. But then the civilians can't grow anything. You just kill the civilians, and it's like, well, that makes you a terrorist then.
Plant guns on all of them, and they're not. It's not terrorism.
What does terrorism
Within
mean?
the citizenry.
Terrorism is like harming civilians.
Yeah.
An unlawful use of violence or something. I think it is.
Yeah, you're right on. The unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians in the pursuit of political aims.
Intimidation.
Yeah.
How would that go, though?
What do you mean? Like,
Hey, we're gonna kill all your. Yeah, that's terrorism. I wonder if number 7 is terrorism.
Is it?
I think so. Well, why wouldn't it be? We're civilians,
Well,
innocent.
because it's the key word there is soldiers.
It's
There's-
called Country X targets civilians. Country Y. Well, why are they
So you're pointing out something that might muck up that one. Are you 7?
No, we're 5.
We're 5.
You're 5.
Yeah. I think yes.
I think no.
Oh, He
Why
was
would you
talking
say
about
no?
7. You're talking about 5.
So like, as we just said about terrorism, we're
Is it?
kind of some of
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's called chaos and disunity and fear.
No, it's
We're talking about
they're just
citizens.
trying to
or
find the other
girls.
soldiers. That's what it says.
No, ours is fine. I'm talking about seven words.
You can get, it's like trying to kill the civilians by starving them out.
No,
I'd say 5 is
they're trying to find soldiers.
It's
5?
It's country against country, not country against people.
5? Ours? Yeah, it's country against country, but if you kill all the crops in one country, then what's left for the civilians?
Crops, vegetation, the jungle, it's Vietnam. Okay. So if you got, how did you not draw that parallel?
Well, if you got 3 soldiers,
Is there any group that you're looking at your scenario and
I don't know,
you're not
just
quite
like-
getting it?
We were terrorists.
It's a little confusing. If that's true, call me over.
So you're justifying,
away into the trees.
No, we were trying to find them.
Will, so you're justifying that I can
More than
blow,
fine.
Spot that. It's just a jungle.
Will,
The gold king.
Will, so you're justifying that I can blow up this building that's full of 25% soldiers just because it's 25% soldiers.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Did you read number
Where,
5?
where in
Yes,
that
I did.
specific scenario-
Hey, okay, that's
where in
dramatized.
that
Like,
specific scenario does it mention civilians? No.
Okay,
It's
well then in that
affecting
case, yeah, no.
you're terrorizing the
If
country.
it said in the process you hurt civilians, then maybe. But-
They're not doing it. They're doing it to
Kills
benefit their
all
war
the
effort.
vegetation.
Yeah. Are people vegetation? No.
Yes, but it's gonna affect them.
No.
Yes, it will.
No.
It just means you got
It's not
it
terrorist.
just means you got flat lands now instead of
These are
mountains.
soft
Okay,
ones.
what are they gonna eat?
They're gonna grow more stuff with all the
We
flat
didn't- we
land that
didn't
was
burn-
created.
With
freaking
what?
burn down
They have
their
no
crops.
seeds. They
You
have no.
don't eat rainforest butter.
You need all the grass to feed your beef.
You don't eat what grass in a rainforest?
Grass. You need cattle. You need all
The
these
reason in
things.
that rainforest were frogs and Viet Cong.
You know what percent of like the world's like? There's so much. We need agriculture so much. What percent of the? Okay, okay. I'm hitting you with fucking facts.
Tell me more about
Shoot
how
him down.
Then
in this specific
vegetation are
scenario,
plants,
no,
not
it's not.
crops.
If you were
It's a
abroad,
herbicide. It kills all vegetation.
I think when you're trying,
Vegetation is everything, Sam.
Hey, Ben,
Yeah.
hey, Reese.
What do you think? It's just vegetables?
Well, you gotta stand up.
Actually, I got a good picture about that.
No, I think when I think when you try to find soldiers, then it's not good.
What you doing down
But when it's just citizens, for the express purpose of burning this nation, then yes, it's good.
3 minutes.
Which they are.
Well, but not for the nation.
That's gonna hurt the nation, Will.
It says to reach it. It says-
Oh, we did this thing, but it wasn't to hurt the nation, even though it did. It does.
We bombed Germany during World War II and nobody called us terrorists. Or Japan. We nuked 2 cities, killed hundreds of thousands of civilians. No one called us terrorists.
Yeah, you have a point there.
Effort to bring down the
Is that your definition? What's your definition of terrorism?
Okay, what if it was we just wanted to get rid of all their plants?
Okay, then that's not the goal.
It's not like that's
It
not.
says it has to find a
What if there was no enemy soldiers?
Then it's terrorism, but there are.
You don't know.
Okay, let's start. I know it's a little early. Who cares? Let's have fun. So, when
So it's not.
I'm going to go in order. We're going to attack number 1. So that's 2 groups, right? This group and that group. Okay. I'm going to read the scenario, and then I will ask, what's your definition of terrorism? What's your definition of terrorism? And then I will let you shine. Why is it terrorism? Why isn't it terrorism? What do you think? And then everyone else, you're free to join in. And then I'll throw in. No, there's no answer here.
Will you give us your view?
I seriously doubt it. Okay.
Why?
Ooh.
Here we go. A radical environmental group. Think Greenpeace on steroids, but the steroids are natural. A radical environmental group burns down a vacant, no one's in there, a vacant hotel recently and legally built in a wilderness area. Think of a hotel built in Yellowstone, right in the middle of Yellowstone National Park. They got all the necessary permits. And a judge said, yep, go ahead. So they build this beautiful, gaudy, enormous hotel right in the middle of Yellowstone. And the building of it obviously disrupts the buffalo and the elk and all this other. Plus, they have to bring in piping to make sure that the hotel's got electricity and water and all that stuff. So this radical environmental group burns it down. Intentionally, no one's in there. They don't want to kill anybody. Okay? No one is hurt, but the hotel is totally destroyed. Do you think that's terrorism? So, question for you. What's your definition of terrorism?
Terrorism is when people or a person with a particular goal use illegal actions that cause damage to people or things to bring attention to that goal.
Very good. What is your definition of terrorism? When a radical group tries to spread fear through acts of terror, it has to be a group. An individual cannot engage in terrorism. Okay, so now we're changing it. It can be an individual or a group. Can it be a country? It can be a country. An individual, a group, or a country that intends to spread fear. Okay? So when Grant was burning railroads, he was a terrorist. Why not? That would be an organization, that would be a group intending to spread fear. When Sherman would melt railroad metal and tie it around an oak tree, creating a Sherman bow tie, Sherman was a general for the Union Army, terrorist.
Is that fear or is that just?
He's not a radical,
Yeah.
according to you. You been to the South? What would they say? Okay.
Sherman wasn't from the South.
Yeah, but they call him a terrorist.
Yeah, well, they're dumb.
They're dumb. Case closed. Okay. So,
Alabama.
explain to me, do you think this is terrorism according to your definition? Why?
Because it is a group or person, the environmentalists, who burnt down the hotel, so they caused damage, and they did it to bring attention to the goal that they had in mind, which was preserving nuclear.
Okay. What say you?
It is an actor.
Why?
Because it is there, the hotel is there legally, and they burned it down because it's unlawful in their thought.
Okay. Would anyone like to share your thoughts on the matter? Do you think we'll agree it's criminal, but is it terrorism?
Well, maybe.
I'm going to pick on you. So you're saying Rosa Parks was a terrorist? I guess you are.
Yes.
How did she cause damage to
No.
people or things?
That white guy had to walk several more spots to his seat.
And he used up his time, which is
Mohandas Gandhi, terrorist. Martin Luther King, terrorist. Right?
Cause damage?
depends on who you.
Uh-huh. He sure did.
I mean, they're trying to tell him not to build a hotel there by burning
My goal is to get you, this class, to admit that people like Martin Luther King and the United States are the terrorists, and that Osama bin Laden wasn't. Let's just see how I do. Okay? So far, Martin Luther King, terrorist.
Yes, correct.
Is that right?
According to you.
No, according to you.
Yes, according to you.
Any other thoughts on this one? Does it matter that no one died?
Yes, I think that does matter.
That matters.
Yes.
To me, terrorism targets civilians on purpose.
So as long as no one's dead, it's not terrorism.
Yes.
Depends on how damaging the terrorism is. I don't know exactly.
I just want to make sure that I understand Will, who said terrorism, as long as no one's dead, that's not terrorism.
That's
Is
not what I
that-
said.
Okay, then say what you said.
I said terrorism targets civilians in my mind.
Right, so if no one's dead, it's not terrorism.
Well,
No one's harmed.
depends on the act.
Well, give me the definition of what terrorism is in your brain.
Okay, it's when a group harms civilians in
Okay,
an effort to damage to spread fear and chaos in a country. and
Okay.
damage their morale.
Nobody's hurt.
Nobody's hurt.
Not terrorism.
Yes.
Because nobody was hurt.
No one was hurt.
Not terrorism.
Not terrorism.
Okay. Are you happy with that?
Depends on how large the not hurting is.
No one's hurt.
Yes, but you can't do the
Here we go. I got him. Will believes that if I got in my plane, crashed it into the Statue of Liberty, but jumped out in time, not terrorism.
But that's a monument.
I don't remember the word monument in your
spreading
definition.
Fear and chaos. And
You said harm civilians. No
Spreading
civilians
fear and
harmed.
chaos.
Unless I'm crazy, the Statue of Liberty is concrete.
You can't make blanket statements and have them like the world isn't black and white. That's what you try and do for all of your debates. Is you come in here like you come in here like, oh, you gotta say yes or no to everything. The world's great.
Did you explain it?
So depending on who you ask, the Twin Towers is a terrorist act or it was a rightful act of aggression.
That's the whole point of this.
Exactly.
Okay, so far we've got her claiming that Martin Luther King is a terrorist, and Will claiming that if I crashed my plane into the Statue of Liberty,
Liar.
totally legit.
Liar.
Direct quote, I got it on tape.
If you
I think
did it
there's
for
some
fun,
gray area.
then it wouldn't be terrorism. But if you did it
Okay.
to hurt the United States, then yes, it would
We'll end on that note. I think Will did say something that is important, and that is this, something we're going to think about tomorrow, and that is this. Does intent matter? Does the reason why you did something factor into whether or not it's terrorism?
Yes.
So, like, we look at the act, and then we say, well, why'd you do that? Does that matter? Okay? So when you walk in the door tomorrow, be ready to talk about your topic like we just did, and be ready for me to challenge you. All right, we can shut her down for today.
Explain this to us at the beginning of the year that there is no black and white.
Can I change my debate topic? Because I looked at
Is
it.
it black? Is it white?
I didn't like
Oh, yeah. I'll take attendance sheets up here. Thank you.
Is ethanol the best way to use the pencil for oil? And it doesn't say anything about us not having to be dependent. Because we don't have to be dependent.
No, he's
Because we
directly
make enough
contradicting
oil
himself.
to not be dependent.
Because it's a different class.
Because we can export oil now and make it across the world. Oh, wait, which one do you want?
Oh,
Hey, Sam, keep your mouth shut.
I know what I was doing. Holmes.
Sam, why are you getting so mad?
I'm not.
Well, it looks like you're being pretty mean to Tyler right now.
I'm mean.